Christine Wormuth is director of the International Security and Defense Policy Center for the RAND Corporation. That's an American policy think tank. She believes U.S. lawmakers are trying to reassure allies without alienating the president and his supporters.
Well, I think the Republicans in Congress are trying to send a message, certainly most importantly to our NATO allies, that the United States still has their back. But I think, what you're not going to see probably is those Republicans openly and directly criticizing the president. I think they're trying to thread that needle of sending a reassuring message on the substance of where we are with U.S.-Russian relations without being openly critical of the president.
You're seeing senators like Senator Corker saying now Congress needs to take steps. And you're hearing these calls in Congress where they can actually take steps towards Russia. I mean, do you see any kind of backlash, potential backlash, because of what the U.S. president did yesterday?
I think it's possible that the Congress could they could do a couple of things. They could try to increase the pressure and increase the sanctions on the Russians to, again, send a stronger signal to Russia than President Trump did. There have certainly been some that have called for Congress to pass a bill protecting the Mueller investigation. I don't think that that's likely. So there is more that Congress could do. It's not clear to me, though, given that the Republicans are in control of both the House and the Senate, that they will do more.
Give me your sense of the international reaction.
I'm not surprised that leaders in Europe are pretty concerned about what they saw the president say. At the same time, I think they can also look at what the administration's doing and take some comfort in the fact that we do have strong sanctions on Russia. We are putting forward a lot of investment in our military posture in Europe. So there are some positive things, but when your head of state stands up and sides with President Putin, that's worrying.
You have Russian experts like Professor Stephen Cohen, who said that this summit is perhaps one of the most important because at this time, this meeting between the president and the Kremlin leader, it's very dangerous, the current relationship between these two countries. Did Trump set back efforts to actually smooth over relations with Russia?
No, I mean, I think that the Russians have to be pretty pleased with how the summit went. And I think the Russians have to look at it and think, this is a president who wants to have a dialogue with them. The concern, I think, is that because he's so openly sided with President Putin and because he didn't take a very hard line on the actions that Russia has taken over the last couple of years that fly in the face a lot of international norms, I think that creates doubt. Again, if you're a NATO country and you're wondering about whether the United States is going to be there and is going to live up to the Article 5 commitments, for example, the way President Trump behaved yesterday, I think, sows some seeds of doubt. I don't think anything President Trump did really indicates that he wants to close the door on conversations with Russia. To the contrary, actually.
Where does the relationship between the United States and Russia go after this?
Well, I think we do need to continue to try to have dialogue with Russia. There are important things we need to talk about. We need to talk about Syria. We need to talk about extending New START. But at the same time, we have to make it very clear to the Russians that the kind of behavior that they've undertaken in the last couple of years is not acceptable and will not be tolerated. And so I think we need to have some tough conversations with Russia going forward. But dialogue, you can only have those conversations if you're talking to each other.
Christine Wormuth, thanks so much.
Thank you.